Hello, beautiful people. Today, I want to talk on something very important, communication gap. Something happened in my office, and I decided to make a video on this to educate people on the importance of giving out accurate information. Because when there is a gap in communication, conflict will definitely arise from it. What is communication gap? Communication gap is the misunderstanding that happens between the sender of an information and the recipient. This misunderstanding occurs when the recipient does not understand that information being passed down by the sender. I am going to show you an illustration. Go through that video and let me know whether you understand that video. Okay, I believe you must have studied that illustration. Now, in that video, there is a sender of an information. The first man, Mr. A, gave an information to Mr. B. He demonstrated something, bending down, taking up his hands and all that. He passed that information to Mr. B. And that information was expected to have gone down the line. So in the video, there were people lined up in a queue. Mr. B passed the way he understood that information, he passed it to Mr. C. And if you look very well, the message of Mr. A kept on changing as the information kept going from one man to the other. Now, what am I trying to say from this video? When information is being disseminated from one person to another, going down the line to people, at a point, the message tends to change, tends to differ from the main message being sent out by a sender. And that is why dissemination of information via one-on-one sometimes not accurate. In organizations where information are disseminated via one person to another, from a director to a senior manager down to the junior officer, sometimes communication gaps arises, and this can lead to conflict. And that's why in recent times organizations use the memo to pass down their information. When I started this video, I told you there was an issue in my office that made me do this video. What was that issue? Two of my colleagues were gisting, and after their gist, one asked the other to pass a message across to another of our colleagues. When that message was passed across, the recipient of that message, the message didn't augur well with her. So what she did was to go back to the sender, the original sender of that message, to ask her to explain what that message was all about. By the time the sender explained that message, it became very clear what the message was all about. Telling somebody to pass a message across from one person to another can be misunderstood. And that's why most times I have learned not to react when I hear certain stories that this person said or that person said. I try to find out, in fact, even if I'm angry, I try to calm myself down. When I calm down, I go back to the person to understand what the person means or what the message is all about. So communication gap can arise, and this leads to conflict. So as much as possible, let's make our information very clear. Let's try as much as possible to make it very accurate. It will go a long way to help us as we relate to one another. That illustration was done by my son. In fact, there's no way I could have ended this video without making reference to him. He made that video. So I want to at least give him a shout out for that beautiful video. Thank you, Cyril. Thank you, Cyril. Okay, till I see you next time, have a lovely time. Cheers.